And before we get started, Mr. Adams, I have to advise you that you have the right to request a court-appointed attorney. If you make that request, we will postpone today's hearing to give you time to talk with your lawyer. And Mr. Adams, are you requesting a court-appointed attorney today?
Not at this time.
Okay. Ms. Mullen, if you would please call the case.
Thank you. This is the matter of John Adams versus Denise Barosky. This is an arrears only case and has been since 2012. There were 2 children between the parties. The remaining balance owed on the account by Mr. Adams is $3,726.52, of which $3,195.52 is owed to Ms. Weeks in child support and child care arrearages. And then there are fees and costs. There have been no payments on the account in the past year. The last payment posted in August 2020 for $471. And in 2017, there were some medical issues that Mr. Adams had, but nothing recent has been provided to our office.
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Adams, are you currently employed?
Nope.
Okay. When were you last employed?
5 years ago.
Okay. And what were you doing for work at that time?
Commercial industrial service technician for heating and air conditioning.
Okay. And why did you stop working 5 years ago?
I've had 16 surgeries in the last 4 years. I have my disability. My neck has had 4 surgeries. My back's had 3 surgeries. My hands have had 5 surgeries. And my foot's had 1 surgery. And my prostate's had 1 surgery, all in the last 4 years. Not to count 6 implant surgeries.
And when did your disability start?
2 years ago.
Okay.
I'm not good. Bottom line is, I came in. You guys sent me a thing, said I owed her $3,000 some odd. I came in on Monday with a cashier's check to pay that, and when I get there, they tell me I owe more than what they sent me a bill for. So I couldn't pay it off in full, so I kept my check. Basically, the bottom line is and I got to get into too much details because my personal life really isn't nobody's business. But I'm going to have to move out of my house in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be on the streets. I took my entire disability check last month and saved what's left and give you the whole disability check this month to pay you off so I didn't have to deal with you. Well, I get there, now I owe another $700 more or something. I don't got it. And like I said, the last thing I want to do is be homeless in 2 weeks with no money. But it was worth the effect to just pay her off and not have to deal with you guys. So I guess I'm in a situation where if I got the money right here in my hand, cashier's check, that's all I got. And I don't want you messing with my disability. So I don't get anything out of disability anyways. All it does is pays medical insurance. I get $2,000 a month, and $1,100 of it goes to insurance. Leaves me $900 a month to live on. Unfortunately, a divorce took about $1 million from me a few years ago. So I'm left broke at age 60 with no ability to even be able to work. Denise will tell you I'm a working fool. I can't even do anything because my back and neck are so messed up. And that's the truth. I'm not one of those guys lying. Denise will tell you. My back and neck are messed up. If I could go to work today, I would. But I can't. So like I said, I'm going to be on the streets in 2 weeks. I can't make a balloon payment on my fucking house because I can't work. And like I said, I got a check for $3,000. That's all I'm giving you. That's it. You guys want to cash out today? There's a cashier's check right here for $3,050. And I got the remainder in cash for the bill you sent me. That's all I can do. And if you're going to go after my disability, I'm going to keep my $3,000 and at least have some money to be on the streets in 2 weeks. That's where I'm at. That's pretty much how it is. And you guys can take it or leave it, I guess. So it's up to Denise what she wants to do. I don't need this added stress in my life right now. Are you there?
Yes, Mr. Adams. Are you? Was there anything else that you wanted to say at this time?
No.
Okay. Miss Weeks.
Like I said, I came in to pay it on Monday.
Was there anything?
I have a check.
Okay.
Nope.
Was there anything else that you wanted to say at this time, Mr. Adams?
No.
Okay.
I can tell you a lot of things. Like I said, I did we did her whole complete house in Buckley or in Kingsley. We did her air conditioner for her house. And like I said, I can't even tell you the money I've spent to help her out. There should have been a check for $3,000, $3,600 on my account where I put an air conditioner in for her she was supposed to pay for. I don't know if she did or not. Yes, this is just all of a surprise. I thought we were all done with after the air conditioner. Now all of a sudden, 2 years later, I get this.
Mr. Adams, may I talk?
Yes.
Okay.
Go
thank
ahead,
you.
sir.
Okay, so Ms. Weeks, if you wanted to, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could agree to just take a payment in the amount of $3,000 and waive the remaining arrearage.
It's 2,050.
I'm sorry, Mr. Adams, what?
It was the total amount that you sent me due. I have. I got a money order for $3,050, and I didn't have the
Okay,
slip of paper with me when I went to the bank, so I got
I'm
cash
sorry.
out
I
to pay the remainder of that bill.
so you're saying, Mr. Adams, that you're willing to do a lump sum payment of $3,050, is that correct?
No, I will pay you what you guys sent me a bill for $3,100 and some dollars. I don't know what it was exactly. When I went to the bank, I got a cashier check for $3,050, and I have $150 in cash. And I went to the friend of the court to pay it off on Monday, and it wasn't going to be paid off. From the bill you sent me, I had that amount of money with me, and it wasn't going to pay it off, so it wasn't going to do me a darn bit of good to pay it off. So I kept my check and came back and waited till today. The check is in hand, the cash is in hand. I'll be willing to drive down there right now and pay it.
I just need to know the exact dollar amount that you're proposing to settle for.
You get just rounded off to $3,150. How's that?
3,000. Oh, so okay. So Miss Weeks, Mr. Adams is offering. Well, I guess my question to you, Miss Weeks, is: would you be willing to take $3,150 and then waive the remaining arrearage? You don't have to do that, but that's an option. Is that something that you were willing to do at this time, Miss Weeks?
That would be fine with me to make all this go away out of his life. That would be perfectly fine. So he can be done with everything.
So Miss Mullen, what do we need to do at this point?
Well, Mr. Adams can come down with the $3,150 and make a payment that has to be cash, or cashier's check is acceptable. A money order would have to be sent to Lansing, but then we can knock off the remaining $45.
I want to be done today. I want to be completely done. Never talk to you guys ever again today. Does this take care of that?
That amount, sir, would only pay off Miss Weeks. You have fees and costs that we could potentially.
Then I'm not going to pay it off today. Then if I have to deal with you in the future, I'm not going to give you that money today. The whole idea was to go without money last month and this month so that I didn't have to deal with you ever again. If I have to deal with you in the future, there's no point in me being broke next month. I mean, there's no point in me going without anything and suffering for another month or two.
Mr.
With
Adams,
no money.
Mr. Adams, we're not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do here.
I understand, but my whole idea was to be done with this. I scraped every dime I had to be done with this whole process.
Okay.
In fact, I thought it was done years ago, and it just comes back to haunt me again.
So here's what we're going to do, Mr. Adams. I'm going to need you to submit documentation to the friend of the court to just support your claims regarding disability and regarding your medical issues. I'll adjourn this hearing to give you an opportunity to submit some documentation, just to support.
There's no point. I don't understand the reason behind it.
Well, but Mr. Adams,
what is the total?
Mr. Adams, I'm going to go ahead and just adjourn this hearing. If you don't want
She agreed to be settled with that. Why can't we just settle for the
Mr. Adams, if you don't want to take
$3,150?
advantage of that opportunity, then I will find you in contempt at the next hearing. This hearing is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go, Denise.
4DS. Parties in the case have a third order modifying order for custody, support, and parenting time signed January 12th, 2021, which orders Ms. Drake to contribute child support for one child in the amount of $188 per month. This is her first hearing with the court, and the current balance owed on the account is $1,922, of which $1,796 is owed to Mr. Danoon in child support, and the remainder is fees. And a payment on the account in the past year, January of this year, Ms. Drake paid $752 on the account.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Drake, are you currently employed?
I am not.
Okay. And when were you last employed?
I have not been. I've been a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. And how many children do you have in the home with you?
I have two.
Okay. And what are their ages?
17 and 11.
Okay. And are those children, well, I guess, is there a custody order, pertaining to either of those children?
My daughter is the one that is 17 regarding Robert and myself. I got her back. I didn't get custody of her, but per CPS, she's been back in my custody since July 18th of 2022. My daughter got removed from Robert's care due to CPS and assault on my daughter. I put in an order for custody per CPS back in October, and I have not heard anything.
Are you being charged for child support for the 17-year-old?
Yes, I am. That's what this case is for.
Have you contacted your caseworker about that?
Yes, I have, and Robert has also, and he just got out of jail on the 1st of September for this. And CPS said that he is not to have any rights to our daughter at all. They would have taken his rights, but because she's now 17, she turned 17 on the 17th of September,
Okay.
that it would have been too long.
Ms. Mullen, this is the child, this is the support child in this case, right?
Yes, we have.
I've heard enough, Ms. Drake. I'm going to dismiss the order to show cause. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Parties in the case have a fourth order modifying order for custody support and parenting time signed April 13th, 2023, which orders Mr. Kelly to contribute child support and medical support for one child in the amount of $294 per month. And per an errata that was entered in just on September 19th, the effective date on the charge, Your Honor, is July 1st, 2023, due to Mr. Kelly's incarceration, zero support charge from March 2022 until June of 2023. And he was paroled in March of this year, I believe, to Benzie County, prior charge $313 per month. The current balance owed on the account is $2,662.06, of which $2,478.09 is owed to Miss Gay in child support and medical support. There are fees, and then $99.97 in medical support arrearages are owed to the state. Since paroled, Mr. Kelly made a payment on the account August of this year for $50.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Kelly, are you currently employed?
Yes, and I also want to add, I thought I made a child support payment on the 7th of September of $50 as well, and I was able to make $80 payment on yesterday, actually.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to adjourn this show cause hearing just to confirm receipt of those payments and to monitor for payments moving forward. I guess one question I did have, Mr. Kelly, is who is your current employer?
Currently, I am self-employed, and I'm subcontracting right now through Pro Carpet Install, and things are going pretty good.
Okay,
so far.
Moving forward, obviously, you'll be expected to make your child support payment, and we will adjourn this to monitor for those payments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I say thank you, Your Honor? Can I just say one more thing?
Yes.
I appreciate your time. I know you guys are busy. I'm sure you got, a lot of other things to get to. I just want you to know it's been really tough for me the past month, and I have been working with Kaylee, and we've been cordially, I've been seeing my daughter since being released, and it's been going the best it ever has been. Okay. I also have, I really received some terrible news that really kind of bothers me a lot. And, so I just found out that my co-parent has MS. And I guess this is something that has been slowly breaking her body down the past couple of years now. And I went to one of her treatments, and it was like a 4.5 hour long treatment. And I sat up there at the hospital with her. And, I'm just really concerned. And I just want I'm doing the best I can. And it's really tough for me because I don't know how much longer she has left. And that's my daughter's mother. And I'm just trying to do the best I can, okay? And I'm trying to help her with all I can. And, I've been wanting to go over there and make some bathroom modifications for her. And, she tells me that her sister, who she stays with, Her sister has the home out in Rapid City with the address that my co-parent stays at. And for some undisclosed reason, she won't let me come out there and try to make some bathroom renovations. And, you know, they're having trouble over there. Like, all they can do is take baths. I guess they don't have a shower working right now. And it just really bothers me because I know it's difficult. It's difficult for Kaylee to try to take care of her little son and my daughter at the same time. She can barely stand on her own. And I just want you to know that's just what I'm going through right now. And I just found out about this. And I've been talking with her, and I've been trying to help her as much as I can. Like, if she needs to go to the grocery store or something like that, like, I'm going to drive 40 miles to go and help her out on any given day. And I just want you to know it's just some real things that I'm going through right now. And I don't know. I just wanted to let you guys know more of what's going on. And I will pay this child support. I will get caught up on it. And you have my word. And thank you for letting me.
Just continue to do the best that you can and support Miss Gay as much as you can. We'll see you at the next hearing.
All right. I thank you guys. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. You as well.
This is an arrears only case. Since 2017, there was one child between the parties. The last charge on the account was $175 per month, and the last ordered on arrears was $75 per month. The current balance owed by Mr. Wildfong is $8,401.60, of which $6,821.30 is owed to Miss Babineau and child support and medical support arrearages. There are fees and costs, and medical support arrears owed to the state is $673.04. Payments on the account in the past year did come through. In September, December of 2022, Mr. Wildfong made payments. This case received only $3.71 per month because he has a 2008 case in our circuit that is charging current support. Payment again received in January, $6.02, March, $3.71, May, $6.01, and June was the last payment received on this account for $3.70, all paid by Mr. Wildfong.
Okay. All right. Mr. Wildfong, are you currently employed?
I am.
Okay. And are you self-employed or do you have an employer?
Self-employed, 2 jobs.
Okay. And what kind of work do you do?
Painting business and DJ.
And how long have you been doing the painting work for?
Most of the last probably 12 years.
Okay. And the DJ work?
Probably about the last 3 years.
What caused you to start with the DJ work?
Just a lot of money involved in it, I guess. And it's a good second job that I can control, I guess, that doesn't seem to get in the way of, say, like a regular second job.
Do you have any health issues?
I don't.
Do you have transportation?
I do.
What is your housing situation?
I rent.
And what is your monthly rent?
Roughly probably 500. I share a house.
And are you current on rent?
I am.
Do you have a car payment?
I don't.
Do you know how much your car insurance is?
$300 a month, $315.
And are you current on that?
I am.
All right.
I do want to state for the record that I've had Dejel full time since she was 10 years old.
Okay. And how old is the child now?
20.
Okay.
She did live with her mom maybe 5, maybe 6 months over that whole time.
And mom
really
was never willing to forgive any of the arrearage.
You know, in all honesty, I never really went through the court system. I called them. I'm sure somewhere in the system, I called the day that I took control over her. Her mom moved to Puerto Rico, and I was living in Grand Rapids at the time because the housing market crashed. It was about 2012-ish, I believe. And instead of, Deja was gonna go to Puerto Rico with her mom, and she didn't want to go, so she told me she wanted to come live with me. So that day, I packed her up and moved her with me to Grand Rapids, and I called the friend of the court and told him that I was taking full custody from that day forward. And obviously that's not the legal way, and they told me that over the phone. And I was just letting them know that that was going to be the case, and her mom pretty much was non-existent from there. She did end up living with her aunt, who is Phelan's sister, for about a year and a half or so when she was about 16. But beyond that, she was in my custody. I paid for braces. I paid for, took her to all her doctor visits and everything over that time, and all this counseling appointments to deal with, obviously mother abandonment issues that she was going through as a, teenager that, but yeah, I know I should have probably filed paperwork years ago and took care of this. And they did tell me at the front desk that if I would have filed paperwork that, every month that I had her, they were just gonna, maybe minus off whatever it was. My last payments were 175 or whatever, until it was at zero, whatever. And I never did go about that. I was kind of hoping that family would come back, in all honesty, the first few years. Obviously dealing with a teenage girl and her mom disappearing was a very tragic situation, on top of me trying to maintain a household. So as a man, I honestly didn't, I learned a lot from that, but in hindsight, but during that moment, I definitely was struggling for those first few years.
See,
in that situation.
I have a dilemma here, and that's that I'm looking at the statute, and that's what I'm required to enforce. And it doesn't give me the leeway, really, to just kind of wave away this arrearage, even though it sounds like you should have definitely filed for custody many years ago, when this was charging. So, and this is an arrears only case, and this court requires you to pay that arrearage, not all at once, but eventually. This is child support under Michigan law. It's non-dischargeable in bankruptcy. It's never going to go away, ever.
Oh, I understand that. I'm not expecting that. And I'm only stating the fact that, and hoping that there's some sort of balance in there, that I wasn't just like running from those payments. I just was in full custody and
so here's the thing. There's balance, but you've got to show some kind of effort to be paying this. You have to.
Is there any way that I can, is there any way that I can file some paperwork to do what was said that I could have did, like say 5 or 7 years ago?
No,
where
Michigan doesn't. Michigan law will not allow this to be retroactively modified. Will not. That's
only if, say, Phelan got on here,
correct,
and said that she agrees that money should.
Yes.
I'm gonna lie about it. That's kind of messed up.
Well, Mr. Wildfong, I don't want
drug addict.
Honestly,
like, she's not gonna.
I can't. If you're
listen, I'm not taking this out.
If you're coming here at a show cause hearing and telling me you're not going to pay this, then I'll just find you in contempt.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
Let me ask you a question. How much can you commit to pay each month?
What are my options here to not pay it and try to balance out those 7 years that I? Why doesn't Phelan have to pay me for those 7 years?
Because there's a child support order in place, and you didn't.
So can I go into court today and file paperwork and say, "Listen, I'm not arguing with you.
No.
I should have did this 7 years. I should have did this 7 years ago."
Mr. Wildfong already said no. You can't do that because the law does not give you that option. Can you give me a dollar figure that you can pay each month, something besides zero? Something that's in good faith based on your regular monthly budget. That's the best I can do. If you're not willing to do that, I have no choice but to hold you in contempt.
And listen, I'm not trying to argue with you or get in contempt of court or anything like that. I'm actually just trying to ask you my other options. Like, I'll say I'm willing to pay 10 a month, but I can tell you that hopefully I can get a hold of everybody involving in this case and get Phelan to sign some paperwork and state that that it should balance out, and just to put this case at 0, because financially this seems to make the most sense. I mean, I paid for her braces. It was like a $7,000 bill, like multiple doctor visits and everything else that I had to pay out of pocket because my insurance wasn't correct.
Look, I'm asking, do you really want to be coming in here for the next 10 years? Because if you're paying $10,
I think this case should be like, no.
I think it's fair.
That's not going to happen. You guys have to follow certain guidelines, and it's a mother's state. I'm screwed. This is part of the reason I'm frustrated from the beginning, because I do understand.
All right, so look, you've offered to pay $10 a month. You're self-employed, you paint, you're a DJ, you've been a painter for 12 years. There's a lot of money involved with being a DJ. Your health is good. You have transportation. You're current on your rent. You don't have a car payment. You're current on your car insurance.
I will say this on the car part. Both my vehicles just broke. I did have a second work van that I used to transfer ladders and such. That's sitting at a shop still dead.
If you can commit to 50 a month, the court would accept that. $50 a month. Can you do that?
Well, yeah, sure. But can I ask you again, like, what are my other options here?
You're going to look, I'm not your attorney. There's a child support order that I'm here to enforce today. The court will go ahead and accept your commitment to pay $50 a month towards the arrearage. We will adjourn this matter to monitor for payment. If you want legal advice, I would suggest you consult independent legal counsel. You are obviously given the right to request counsel today. I'm not finding you in contempt. Again, I'm adjourning this because you've offered to pay $50 a month. We'll see if you do that. It's the best I can do for you today, Mr. Wildfong.
Well, you did state that if I get a letter from Phelan, that I can put this at 0 if she agrees.
I've said that. I've said that about 5 different times today. So I think.
No, again, I understand you're frustrated and you have to deal with people all day in these scenarios. And I get a lot of people just make up excuses. I'm not here making up excuses. I just feel that legally there should be some sort of bind in my side, and clearly that does not exist here. It's just
I understand you believe that this is a woman's state, but we've got to move on. Can we just move on to the next case, please? Will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. All right. So, Ms. Jacobs, could you just explain to the court what changes in circumstances have occurred since entry of the last order on August 17th, 2021?
Well, the few things that have occurred that are making me, or that have brought up concerns for me, are the fact that Hassan still doesn't show up to any school functions, still doesn't show up to any of his extracurricular activities. Last summer, he pulled him out of T-Bays and put him in a totally different soccer group than where his friends are and where he's been his whole entire life. And we compromised with that, and he still didn't show up to
I'm just sorry, just one moment, please. So he pulled your child from T-Bays, and what soccer group did he put the child in?
In the YMCA.
And I thought I heard you say that you and he compromised on that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was us trying to it was me trying to compromise with him.
Okay, I'm up to speed now. Please continue.
He didn't show up to he showed up to only one of those games. And Jedediah was absolutely miserable there. He told his father that, and his father pretty much ignored him, as what he told me. Hassan has taken off out of state randomly, like he was supposed to get him his very first week that he was supposed to get him starting this summer for the week on, week off. Hassan randomly took off to Arkansas and texted my mother and said, I can't do this anymore. Please take care. I can't do this anymore. Please take care of Jedediah. I can't do it up here. And left the state and went to Arkansas, where his family is. And then randomly came back a couple weeks later asking for Jedediah, but Jedediah doesn't trust his dad anymore, because this is the second summer in a row that his dad has taken off out of state. But Hassan does not call us. He doesn't try and call us to talk to him. He doesn't anything. He doesn't try and reach out to him. He still is not involved in school functions. still has not came to a single soccer game of his.
Okay, there are several factors that the court has to consider. We'll go through those now. Factor A is the love, affection, and other emotional ties existing between the parties involved and the child. Could you just speak to this factor and how you feel that the parties, how it applies to the parties in this case?
The love, I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't love his son, but I do want to say he favors the other two children that he has a lot more. I have heard Maya has told us that there has been talk between Hassan and his mother, Patricia, about leaving Jedediah behind, and Maya, Zay, Azalea, and Hassan taking off to Arkansas.
And just to be clear, is Maya Mr. McFerrin's significant other?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know his brother and his sister love him, and I know Maya cares about him for sure. But Hassan is, he doesn't know how to show his love. I think what my thing is he's too involved with himself or too caught up with himself. Unfortunately, is what I think, because he doesn't do very much with any of his kids. Maya has told me.
All right. Was there anything else that you wanted to speak to under that factor?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Factor B is the capacity and disposition of the parties involved to give the child love, affection, and guidance, and to continue the education and raising of the child in a religion or creed, if any. So you've already kind of spoken to the school issue. Was there anything else that you wanted to speak to regarding the issues of guidance or of education?
I know last year he did not do homework with him at all on his weekends. So Jedediah didn't get homework finished, or we would have to rush to get it finished when I got him back on Sundays. I'm hoping it's not going to be the same this year. I mean, he hasn't had him yet, so I'm not sure. But I have informed his teacher, so we'll see how this year goes. But this year he actually gets actual credit for his homework. So.
And what grade is Jedediah going into this year?
Second.
And where does Jedediah attend?
Elementary.
And what ended up happening for first grade as far as Jedediah's meeting, the benchmarks that he needed to meet?
He did really good.
Okay.
He did phenomenal. He was actually like the helper of the class. He was going around helping other students, and he's actually a very, very intelligent little boy.
Was there anything else that you wanted to speak to regarding the issues of guidance or education?
Other than the fact that he keeps bringing the school into it, and the school is getting very upset. They have mentioned to me that they don't want to be in the middle of this anymore, and Hassan keeps bringing them into it. I guess Hassan keeps calling them, and like when I got one of my violations or whatever, I mean, I get you need your proof for your violation or whatever, but like he ended up calling the school and had them send him an email because I got him out of school early on a day. And the school is like, we don't really want to be in the middle of this anymore. Like, it's not our issue. We have all these other students we have to deal with. We can't deal with, your guys' problem. And so that's the only education part that I could think of.
Factor C is the capacity and disposition of the parties involved to provide food, clothing, medical care, or other material needs. Could you just speak to this factor and the issues of just material needs and medical care?
To be honest, I know that he doesn't hold jobs for very long. So I'm not very sure how the financial state is there. I know that he doesn't show up or take him to any medical stuff. Like his yearly checkups and stuff, he doesn't show up to any of those. He doesn't take him to any of them. He hasn't in quite a while. I'm pretty sure the material things, I want to say that Maya buys quite a bit of it because Maya's got a steady job, and I know Maya has said to us numerous times that she can't afford to pay for everything, including child support.
Factor D is the length of time the child has lived in a stable, satisfactory environment. What did you want to speak to under that factor?
I mean, Hassan is, like I said, the first week he was supposed to get him this summer, he took off out of Arkansas, and his exact text message to my mom was, I can't do this here anymore. I can't take care of him up here anymore. So please take care of him. And he took off to Arkansas. And then last summer, he had Jedediah and left with literally left right in front of Jedediah and took off to Arkansas again and left Jedediah with Maya. And my mom had to go get Jedediah from Maya because I was at work. So, I mean, to me, that's not stable at all. Like and like Maya said, Maya has told us on numerous occasions, me and my mother, on numerous occasions, that he doesn't do very much with the kids at all. When they go out to do things, he stays at home. And I know they have their arguments. Jedediah has told me about them fighting quite a bit and arguing. And I know, like, us every time we would go and pick up Jedediah, Hassan would be like on his phone or on his computer, not really paying attention to anything. So.
All right. So when, during the summer, parenting time is supposed to be week on, week off. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's supposed to go from Friday to Friday?
Yes.
Okay. And so, so did Mr. McFerrin exercise parenting time at all for his first week
No.
of this year? Okay. Okay. What about his second summer week this summer?
No, he has not seen Jedediah since I think it was June 11th. Jedediah is literally terrified to go there. He's actually at a point where I have to get him in counseling because he's actually having accidents and he's never done that. And he's like missing school because he's like fighting to go to school because he's terrified that his dad's going to come pick him up.
And that's when did Jedediah begin school this year?
His first day was September 5th.
Okay. And you're saying that since he started school on September 5th, he's been missing school because he's terrified that Mr. McFerrin will pick him up?
Yeah, or we've been having a lot of trouble getting him there.
How much school has Jedediah missed since 5th?
I think he's only honestly missed 2 days because we've been able to get him to go the rest of the days, but it's him literally crying all morning and, Mom, please just let me stay. Please just let me stay home one more day. And I'm like, Jedediah, there's no reason for it. You can go to school. You're fine. And so it's a lot of hassle trying to get him there. So I've been calling around to try and get him into counseling.
And when did you start calling around trying to get him into counseling?
It's been about 2 weeks now.
Where are exchanges supposed to happen during summer parenting time?
Hassan normally comes and picks him up on the one Friday, and then I go pick him up, or my mom goes and picks him up to bring him back. So we do one way, he does one way.
All right. And did Mr. McFerrin, come to your residence on any of his Fridays this summer to begin his parenting time?
No.
Based on the order, Mr. McFerrin was to receive spring break earlier in spring of this year. Did Mr. McFerrin exercise his spring break?
Yes, he did.
During the school year, Mr. McFerrin is to have parenting time pursuant to a 3 weekends on, 1 weekend off schedule from Friday after school or 4 p.m. if there's no school until Sunday at 6:30 p.m. So, let's do it like this. Did Jedediah attend school on Friday, September 8th?
Yes,
Okay.
but he was out early.
And you withdrew him early, so Mr. McFerrin would not be able to pick him up at the end of the day?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the deal that I had to make with him in order to get him to go.
What about Friday, September 15th?
He didn't go.
Was that because that was another day where Mr. McFerrin was to pick him up to begin his parenting time at the end of the day?
Yes.
Okay.
And I could not get him to go.
That would mean then that this is going to be your weekend. Is that correct? Tomorrow, starting tomorrow? Because is that your understanding of the schedule? Well, no, that's actually not correct.
Yeah, no. Maybe he'd have one more.
Tomorrow would also be Mr. McFerrin's. That's correct.
Yeah, he'd
So
have one more.
what is the plan? What are your intentions as far as school tomorrow?
I have no idea. It's all going to depend on Jedediah. I mean, I'm going to do my best to get him to school, but this kid is he's a lot stronger than I am, unfortunately, already at 8 years old.
Okay, so I guess one question I have is if Mr. McFerrin he didn't come to your house at all this summer to do his weeks, why do you have any reason to believe that he would be coming on his Fridays now that school started to start his weekends?
Because he texted my mom and told her. Or texted, or he called the school. Sorry, no. That was when he called the school. He called the school and said that he'd be there.
And when did that happen?
That was on I think it was the day school started, I believe. He said he called and said that he would be there on Friday to get him.
But he didn't communicate that to you?
Nope.
How did you find out?
The school.
Just staying on the school topic, could you just kind of describe how you've been involved with, school issues since the date of the last order, which again, we're talking about August of 2021. How have you been involved with school related issues?
I go to every single parent teacher conference, every event, every thing he has. I mean, I may have missed one or two because I was sick or something, or at counseling or something, but I go to almost every single one.
And then as far as the extracurricular, issue, you testified about the YMCA soccer. That was this summer. Could you just kind of describe your involvement with the YMCA soccer this summer?
I went to, I believe, every game to that one. Jedediah was very unhappy at that one because it was not up to his par. That one is a lot more laid back and it didn't teach him very much. They're not as competitive as T-Bays is. And he's a lot more experienced because he's been playing for many years and he practices with his cousin who's on a traveling team. So, I mean, I showed up to every single one and I mean, he was unhappy, but I mean, we showed up.
And then as far as practices, did he have any involvement with getting Jedediah to and from any practices?
He brought, I think, Maya or Kim, who is Maya's mom, or me were the ones who brought him.
Why would Maya have been involved in transportation if Jedediah didn't go to Mr. McFerrin at all this summer?
No, not this summer. This was.
I'm referring to the summer of 2023. I thought that was so you're saying that this was the summer of 2022? But the YMCA soccer, T-base soccer dispute occurred.
That was spring, in the spring.
Of this year?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right? I think. I'm trying to hang on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, it would have been spring of 2023 because he went to soccer camp the summer of 2023.
Okay. And so when did his soccer season end?
In spring.
Okay.
Cannot remember exactly what month.
Did you have Jedediah in your care continuously from the beginning of summer vacation until the end?
Yeah.
And during that time, did Jedediah was he involved in any kind of extracurriculars?
He did a soccer camp.
And how did you facilitate that soccer camp?
I actually was not able. It was a week long, and my sister-in-law actually took him for me, or Maya's mother took him because she's actually the one who paid for it. Maya's mother, Kim, but Cassie, my sister-in-law, is the one who took him for me because I was actually unable to make it to those due to my health issues at the time.
Can you speak to the issue of, your ability to provide for material needs, anything, financially related?
I do get the child support from Hassan when he does pay, and I am getting some cash assistance right now, help until I can get back to work, because I did, like I said, have some medical stuff going on. So I do have money coming in to help pay for stuff he needs. This little boy gets everything he wants. He has every bit of clothes. He has so much food. We go out and do things with him.
What do you receive any kind of, I'm not sorry if I missed it, financial support or aid?
Yeah.
From the state of Michigan?
Yes.
Okay. Have you and Mr. McFerrin been living at do you both have the same addresses that you had at the time of the last order?
I know I do. I'm not sure fully about him because I don't know what is going on with him and Maya. I haven't really talked to either one of them since he's been back in the beginning of summer. So
has Maya continued to reside at the same location that she was at when the last order was entered in August of 2021?
Yes.
Do you have any plans to move?
No.
And as far as your housing is concerned, do you receive any assistance for that, or do you have a rent payment, or what's the arrangement with that?
I pay $200 a month.
And is there anybody else living there with you?
Yeah, I live with my mom and my brother.
As far as sleeping arrangements for Jedediah at your house, you're just going to describe those arrangements?
He has his own room upstairs. We all have our own space.
And it is, as far as the living arrangements for Jedediah at the I guess we'll call it defendant's last known residence, the Thornapple Lane residence. Could you just describe Jedediah's living arrangements there?
The only thing I knew was that he shared a bedroom with his brother Zay. I was never really allowed too far in the house.
Factor E is the permanence as a family unit of the existing or proposed custodial home. So, have there been, other third parties residing with you that you haven't mentioned within the past year or two?
My sister was here for a little bit, but because my sister got kicked out of her place. But other than that, no. And it was that was just for a short while, and then she took off with her boyfriend.
All right. Factor F is moral fitness. Did you want to speak to the factor of moral fitness?
I guess I'm not really sure what moral fitness really is.
Okay, well, have you been arrested since the last order was entered in August of 2021?
No.
Okay. To your knowledge, has Mr. McFerrin been arrested since the last order was entered in August of 2021?
I have no idea.
Factor G is health, both mental and physical. So could you just kind of speak to the issue of health as it relates to yourself and Mr. McFerrin?
For me, my physical health is finally getting better. I was down and out for a little bit because I was having an allergic reaction to a medication, which lasted a little over a month. I ended up in the hospital, on and off. But that is finally getting better. My mental health has been improved for almost a year now. I went to counseling and I'm still in counseling. I've did classes, did a lot of stuff because I knew that I wasn't fully okay in the head years ago. So I did go and get help because I wanted to be better and be able to act better with Jedediah. So I am a lot better. Me and his relationship is amazing. For Hassan, I mean, I know for a little bit he was having seizures. I know he
is
did.
that something that to your knowledge has happened since August of 2021?
Yes.
Okay.
I know he does have depression. But other than that, I can't really speak for him, because then I would just be giving my opinions.
All right. Factor H is home, school, and community record. So was there anything else as far as things going on with Jedediah at your home that you thought relevant? You've kind of talked about his apparent struggles on certain school days, going to school. Anything else you're noticing at home?
Other than his sometimes kind of acting out, which might be just the basic age that he's at. Obviously this is my first kid, so I don't really know. So it could be that, it could be a mix of everything. I'm not really sure. But other than that, I mean, at home, he's pretty good. I mean, he's got, like I said, he's got make really good friendships with two of the neighbors right down the road. So he's literally always with friends or has friends over here, and he's always playing as soon as he's out of school. His best friend who he grew up with, he also plays soccer with, because I did get him back onto T-Bays, which he's in right now.
And when did that start?
That started the beginning of this year. So he has practices on Thursdays. So his first practice was the Thursday after the 5th.
Okay.
And he has games every Saturday. And he's did really good with that. He's doing really good with that.
Has he had a game yet this year?
Yes.
For the season?
Yes.
Were you able to attend?
Yes.
Did you inform Mr. McFerrin that you had, put Jedediah back on T-Bays?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming that as far as practices go, is that something that you're handling as well?
Yes.
When there are some issues with Jedediah acting out, how do you discipline? Do you have certain methods that you use?
I actually, because of the classes that I took, there were a lot of Buddhism talk in them. So a lot of it is more like try and relax your mind, breathe through a lot of it, and then talk about it. So that's what we do with him. It's kind of funny. He'll do it with me, even if like he sees that I'm getting upset about something. He goes, "Mom, breathe." So we do the breathing technique. If that doesn't work, I mean, he will get sent to the corner. But other than that, that's about all we'll do. Or he'll get grounded from some of his like his tablet or something like that.
Did Mr. McFerrin try to, make any kind of phone contact with Jedediah this summer?
No.
As far as the beginning of the school year goes, did he have a chance to speak with any of Jedediah's teachers or anything like that?
Nope.
Did you have a chance to?
Yeah.
Okay. And does Jedediah have a school social worker or anything like that who's involved with him?
They have a school social worker. I don't know if he's been involved with them or not. I was gonna ask the school about possibly having the social worker there talk to him, because it is kind of hard getting him into counseling right now because everybody's full.
And so what are you thinking of following up with that plan?
Yeah.
You testified that Mr. McFerrin came back to Michigan this summer after, I think you said, a couple weeks. How do you know that happened?
Because he texted me the next time it was his parenting time, and he said, "I'm coming to get Jedediah." And I wrote him back and I said, "No, you're not. You just took off out of state for your first week, so you're not coming to get him now. You violated the parenting time thing already. Jedediah is already confused now because he was expecting to go there and you up and took off again." I was like, "So no, you're not. Jedediah is now scared, confused, and that's on you."
And you say that Jedediah was scared and confused as a result of that first week this summer?
Yes, because he was expecting to go there, and then all of a sudden we're like, "Oh," and then we sat him down. We're like, "Well, you're not going there because your dad took off," and we told him exactly what the text message said, and so he's like, "Well, okay." And then all of a sudden he came back, and I asked him every single time, "Do you want to go to your dad's?" And he would start crying or tearing up, and he'd be like, "No, I don't trust him. I don't want to go there. I'm too scared." I'm like, "Okay, I'm not going to force you to go somewhere that you're scared to go."
And what was this text message?
He said, he said that Friday at 11:17 in the morning. So he wrote us on the Friday he was supposed to wrote my mom on the Friday he was supposed to get us.
And could I have the day and month of that?
It would have been, do we have the day and month on here, Mother? It's just a screenshot, so I don't know.
It's okay.
The screenshot was taken June 21st. So it would have been before then, probably the Friday before then.
Yeah, I don't really know. I just know it was the very first Friday he was supposed to get him.
All right. So do you estimate? Oh, that's fair. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was the very first Friday he was supposed to get him starting the summer. And it was he texted my mom at 11:17 a.m. So it was almost noon. And he says, "Take care of Jedediah for me, okay? Like you have been. He deserves you. You take good care of him. I'm going somewhere where I can support him because I can't here. I'm sorry."
And then how did Jedediah react when you showed him that message?
He just kind of said, "Oh," and just kind of like looked at us and then just kind of went on about his day. And then after a little bit, he straight up told me that he was happy that he left. which I mean, kind of shocked me. I was not expecting that from my almost 8-year-old, but yeah.
All right. So, and then we've got an in-camera interview scheduled today for 4 o'clock. So, what does Jedediah know about what's going on in court, or she's just going to fill me in on that?
He knows that he does have to talk to you at 4. He is a little bit nervous, but he is ready. I told him to just tell the truth, be completely honest with you, tell him how you feel. And that's about all he knows. He knows it's about going back to his dad's house and trying to figure everything out with that and making sure that he's going to be safe. So. And he does know that I'm not allowed to be in the room. He's like, but, like, no, Jay, you have to be. I'm like, you're going to be in the kitchen by yourself. You're fine. So, but I did tell him he has to be 100% honest and just tell you the truth on how he actually feels about everything. So.
All right. Has there been any domestic violence in this case since August of 21?
No. Okay. Me and Hassan don't even see each other or talk to each other. So.
All right. So what are you asking for in the way of a court order at this point?
I am asking what my child is wanting, and my child is wanting to just not want to see his dad, unfortunately. He wants to be done with his dad because he's too unpredictable. He takes off too much and he is scared of him. And I don't know what all has gone on at that house for him to be so scared of him, but something has to have happened because I've never seen my kid so scared to go somewhere before.
Okay. Mr. McFerrin, did he have any questions for Ms. Jacobs?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Ms. Jacobs, was there anything else that you wanted to present?
Nope, I think that was it.
Okay, thank you. You're excused as a witness. Please don't log off. Ms. Jacobs, did you have any witnesses today?
Yes, I believe my mom and my brother are here.
Okay. Who would you like to have testify first?
You can put my mom in. I believe she's in your waiting room.
Okay. Ms. Brideup, did he have any kind of a prepared statement, or what kind of testimony did Ms. Jacobs want you to offer today?
I'm sure the other thing I'm not sure what else you wanted me to offer, but I do. My thing is Jedediah. He just wants to feel safe, and he's a great kid, very smart child, and he doesn't feel safe when he goes and spends the night with Mr. McFerrin. I believe that if Hassan wants to stay around, which he has proven up in the last year that he doesn't, but if he does, I feel that Mr. McFerrin needs to take the effort to get to know his child, a one-on-one basis with him and Jedediah. He just has never done that. He always has come and gotten Jedediah and had the whole family together, which is great because Jedediah really cares for Maya and his brother and his sister, but Hassan doesn't know Jedediah. He was roped into a family thing and he's always been with the family. So Hassan doesn't know Jedediah because he's older. And I think that really has put a damper on their relationship. And I fear for Jedediah for a lot of reasons. And that's why I think Jedediah doesn't want to go there. I think Jedediah should get the choice on whether he wants to spend the night. I know he's only 8 years old almost, but that's what scares him is the spending the night. I think he's afraid he's going to wake up and Hassan's not going to be there. And that scares him the most. I think his visitation should not be to have to spend the night with him at this point until Hassan makes a severe effort to prove that he's going to be around and stay around. This whole soccer thing, we had talked to you and he had promised you under oath that he was going to do the spring soccer. The minute we get off with you, spring soccer comes up and Hassan says, oh, you didn't put it in writing, so he's not going to follow your order. We have to fight with him. It's not about what Hassan wants. It's about what Jedediah wants. And that doesn't seem to be a concern. So like I said, I'm the one who text messaged him. I pay for soccer. I offer to drive everybody to and from soccer. I take the time off of work. I do it all. I will still do that all. But I put him in soccer. I sent Hassan, I sent Maya his text messages in both his new schedule, his practice time, his team name. Jedediah loves soccer. It's the only thing he asks for. And so, yes, I put him in it. They don't show up. And that's the one thing that Jedediah wants. And I don't mean to throw this out here in front of without saying anything to everybody, but I've asked them both to just give me guardianship of him so they don't have to fight amongst each other and do all this. And then they can have visitation. I don't need child support. I don't need anything. I've paid for him for 8 years. I've taken care of him for 8 years. He's lived with me for 8 years. It's just would be so much easier. And then they could visit him and not have to fight all the time and go through all this stuff. It's just, it's ridiculous. Everything that you guys are putting this poor child through. He is a great, great kid. And he needs to feel safe. That's all he wants, is to feel safe. And for you guys to let him play soccer and stop all the bickering and fighting and all this stupid stuff that's going around. It's really, really ridiculous. You guys are missing out on so much because he really is a great kid. And that's all I have to say on all of this. But please, Hassan, if you're going to stick around and get to know Jedediah. I love Zay. I love Azalea. I would take them and help in any way I can with them. But you have to get to know Jedediah. It's only fair to him too.
I know my son.
You don't know him. You don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Brydup.
You're very welcome.
Ms. Jacobs, did you have any questions for Ms. Brydup? If you do, just give a thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. Okay, court will take notice, thumbs down. Mr. McFerrin, did you have any questions for Ms. Brydup?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Brydup.
You're welcome.
You're excused.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. So again, I don't know if you have a prepared statement or Ms. Jacobs, if you had any questions for William. So however you'd like to proceed with that.
I didn't have a prepared statement or anything. When they asked if I wanted to be a witness, I honestly wasn't sure what that entailed. But if the court would just like my opinion on the situation and everything, I'm more than happy to give that.
Ms. Jacobs, is that what you would like him to provide? And she's shaking her head yes, so please go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I was present when my mother gave her testimony, and I would agree with a lot of what she said. I think a lot of what goes on is more about one of the two being right, Mr. McFerrin or Ms. Jacobs, more than it is about just what's best for Jedediah. And I see that a lot with Hassan. One of the things that nobody mentioned was Hassan wanting to put Jedediah in the YMCA soccer he claimed was for scheduling purposes. He said, these are the only ones I can make. YMCA scheduling is different. That's why we can do this one. But Hassan never went to any of that. He went to a couple YMCA ones. And I know that because my brother spoke to him at one of them. With Hassan, it's never about what's actually best for Jedediah. It's just Hassan doesn't want anybody to tell him what to do. It's Hassan's way or the highway. And I think that's very unfortunate because Jedediah is the one that suffers. If there's a birthday party for one of his friends and Hassan doesn't want to take him there, he's not going. Doesn't matter. If anything like that, really. And it is unfortunate. And again, speaking to my mom's opinion that Hassan doesn't know his son well, I would agree with that completely. I don't think, and again, I'm not sure if this is something the court would like to hear. So if it isn't, please stop me. But I think if you were to ask Hassan his son's favorite color, he wouldn't know. His teacher, he wouldn't know. His favorite subject in school, he wouldn't know. His best friend's name, he wouldn't know. I think Hassan knows his son as well as any stranger you'd find on the street. And I think that's really unfortunate because, again, I agree with my mother. He is a great kid. He is one of the most well-behaved 8-year-olds I've ever seen, ever. He's smart. He's funny. He has all these interests and hobbies. And it's just unfortunate that this whole situation, like I said, seems to be about winning and losing an argument rather than what's best for Jedediah.
Thank you. Ms. Jacobs, did you have any questions for William? Okay, thank you. Mr. McFerrin, did you have any questions for Mr. Brydup?
No.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brydup. You're excused.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Jacobs, any other witnesses today?
No.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and before we move on to your presentation, Mr. McFerrin will go ahead and take about a 10-minute break I'll put your devices in the waiting room and bring you back in about. I had Ms. Jacobs is, can you provide Jedediah's soccer schedule?
He has a game the 7th.
Well, I'll run it one moment. Okay.
He has a game the 14th.
Okay.
And then his last game is the 21st.
All right, you can lower your hand. So, Mr. McFerrin, how do you respond to the motions that have been filed by Ms. Jacobs?
I mean, I am involved in Jedediah's activities. School. I mean, I know his teachers. Just because she is not there doesn't mean I'm not there. I'm not going to be in sync with everything that she does because we're not together. So whatever I have going on with, when I have him, that's what's going on with, I don't worry about her. She gets contacted, Melissa gets contacted, everybody gets contacted. It's just making it more stressful than it has to be. I make sure that he is, goes to his practices, goes to his soccer games. I basically just want everything to stay the same. Dakota says I'm not involved, which makes no sense. And it kind of hurts, but I'm just, supplying what is needed for Jedediah. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing the best I can. But I make sure that he has everything that he needs and gets to where he needs. The reason why he switched to the YMCA was because it's easier for, I have 2 other kids here besides Jedediah, which makes 3, but my daughter, she goes to gymnastics, and my other son, he goes to Taekwondo. And so it helped with making sure that everybody got to where they need. I went to all 3 that same day, early in the morning, from 8 o'clock all the way until 1 o'clock. Everybody had everything done: Taekwondo, gymnastics, soccer. So I was there. I mean, I'm not loud. I'm not, I'm there. I'm present. Videotaping. May not be as loud as the other parents screaming, but saying good job, great goal. I'm there. So if communication for some things haven't been made by Dakota, so it kind of makes it difficult to agree with something when she doesn't understand what I have going on and what times I have, because I'm with my job right now, I'm trying to flex it around everybody's schedule, and making sure that everybody's happy. But he has been getting to where he needs to be. I wouldn't have taken Jedediah out of school. I don't understand. I wouldn't do that to Dakota, keeping him from his mom. It's just not right. Education is important. I mean, it's the one thing that especially for, he's 7 going on 8, but that's a lot to not be able to go to school for a whole day. You're missing out. Homework, something that the teacher could have said that could have been very important. Nothing is so serious to the point where he has to be taken out of school. There's no reason for it. Like this, it's peace. It's making sure that, hey, how was your day? You got any schoolwork? Usually he says no. Okay. What'd you do today? Ask him. Okay. Did you make new friends? Oh yeah, you went to the playground. Okay, you played. Usually tells me about his math class that he had. He tells me about a lot of problems that he solved, math problems or something that he learned that was new. It's super exciting. I'm like, really? That's incredible. I love hearing stuff like that. It's not like I'm not I'm a monster or something. I'm just doing the best I can. So, but I make sure that he, gets to where he needs, but I can't if he's being kept from me. I went to go pick him up, and principal says he got picked up off his ladies way a lot earlier than you're supposed to. I can't even call him because they jump first and say he doesn't want to talk to you or he's scared of you. Like, for what? I'm like, there's no reason for any of this, you know? So, but I just do what I can. And
Who are they?
Dakota, usually Dakota doesn't talk to me, but when she does, it's usually just when it comes to arguing. Melissa just continues to take the stand as a mother, but I try to talk to Dakota, but she doesn't want to communicate because she can't. I don't understand why. It's not, you know.
All right. So, I mean, Miss Jacobs testified that you didn't try to call Jedediah at all this summer. How do you respond to that?
My contact with Jedediah, I have contacted, try to get him. I've called the police.
Okay, I'm not asking about the police. I'm asking, did you try to make any phone calls with Jedediah this summer?
Yes, I have. For some reason, it would not go through. Not sure why. And I think that was the time that Jedediah was being kept from me. So I called the school. I mean, that was pretty much all I could do. I wasn't trying to cause any type of commotion at all, like no stress on anybody. I just, hey, you know, just want to figure this out. You know, as long as he's fine, safe, I'm okay, but it just hurts. So I'm just doing what I can.
And Miss Jacobs testified that you did not come to her residence this summer to get Jedediah for your weeks. How do you respond to that?
I have requested to have Jedediah, but she told me that he was scared to come with me and that she's not going to force him and to stop texting her and calling.
Why did you not go to Miss Jacobs' residence this summer to get Jedediah?
Because it's kind of difficult with situation between me and Joey, with Joey trying to break into our house, busting in the door and almost breaking our door, which the police had to be called. He started banging on the window. We have kids in the house and you're trying to break down the door. It's not even your house.
And Joey is Miss Jacobs' brother she was referring to?
Yes.
And you're saying you didn't want to go to her residence because Joey was there?
When I usually contact before I head there, just to make sure everything is okay. But with everything that's happened, I was not allowed to go anywhere near the house because Dakota already texted me that Jedediah did not want to come with me. So by me going to the house, I probably would have to, which that's their property. Joey has already verbally said, you know, this is our property, don't step on our property. And that would just create confrontation. Jedediah doesn't need to see that, you know? So I didn't. And I just left it alone and said, I'm just going to file.
All right. And then was there anything else as far as a response that you wanted to make to the issue with the text message that Miss Jacobs was testifying about?
Well, I came back probably a week later. My mom she got in a bad car accident. She ended up in the hospital. So went to go see her.
Why didn't you just text Miss Jacobs that your mother was, you know, not well and that you were going to see her? Why didn't you just send her that message?
I wasn't thinking at the time. I was kind of in a rush. It was a little bit.
Well, I guess, like, do you deny sending Miss Jacobs the message that she purportedly, you know, read off of her phone?
Some of it was basically just me telling her that I couldn't do it. That she I was texting Melissa. I didn't text Dakota because I honestly was really emotional. So I had her come get Jedediah, which obviously was a mistake. It's kind of hard trying to, but yeah.
According to Ms. Jacobs, you sent that the Friday that your parenting time was to begin, but that you never actually got Jedediah on that Friday. How do you respond to that?
No, no, I wasn't. I didn't have him. I don't know if I was just getting in with the hospital for a few hours, but I didn't have him.
Okay. Factor A is the love, affection, and other emotional ties existing between the parties involved in the child. Did you want to provide some testimony on that factor and just kind of talk about the bond that that you feel you have with Jedediah, and maybe respond to some of Ms. Jacobs's evidence, I guess calling that into question?
Yeah. I make sure that I'm present with Jedediah. That's our son. So I try to give him what he needs to grow up as a boy. Anything we do, like sports, we play basketball a lot. That's my favorite thing to do. But I try to teach them just little things as a kid. If we go out and do stuff, I make sure I get videotapes, camera, capture pictures. They take pictures a lot. Their siblings are their siblings, so they have a very strong connection. And I'm just there to make sure that they're happy and have everything they need.
So I guess do you think that Jedediah is afraid to spend the night at your house?
No, I don't. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's not from him. We have more than we don't. Everything here is family, love, peace. We kids may argue because somebody wants to watch TV or has a toy that they want, because they want to do something. Then we usually do it. We don't have any reason to be scared of anything. I could show you the house right now. Their room is remade. We changed everything around. All the kids are back there and they have everything they need. Got more stuff. We do everything. It's not monsters over here. It's a family house. Love, peace, and care.
Okay. So I guess, just, your response to some of the testimony, what is, who is Jedediah's teacher?
Mrs. Hatfield and Mr. Joey.
Favorite color?
I would guess blue.
Favorite food?
Let's see. He likes my pancakes.
And his birthday?
October 20.
Factor B is the capacity and disposition of the parties involved to provide love, affection, guidance, and to continue education and raising in a religion or creed, if any. So do you want to testify, to the issues of guidance and education as it applies to you in Jedediah?
Yeah. I make sure that if he has any struggles in school, to ask me that, make sure that I, stay on top of it. Usually doesn't, he comes home, says he sometimes he does have homework, sometimes he doesn't. But I make sure, it's what I do with all the kids, check on them, see how they're doing. If they need anything, if something's wrong. Yeah. What was the next one?
So, and then what are your methods of discipline if Jedediah needs redirection or correction on anything?
Usually if anything happens, I just ask what happened. And make sure that they know that it's wrong. If it is something bad has happened, we usually do timeouts, or I go to their room, maybe for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, not that long. And then after that, just talk to them, make sure, hey, don't want that again. I don't yell or anything. I just talk to them. There's no reason to yell. It's just gonna make them. There's no reason to yell. It's just talking. Talking helps. Communication. Yeah.
Factor C deals with material needs, involvement in any kind of healthcare. Do you want to speak to the manner in which you help provide for Jedediah's material needs and any involvement you have in his healthcare?
Yeah. Material needs. Like he has clothes, shoes. We usually, like me, Maya. It's a family. Like we all pitch in. It's not just one person. It's all, it's a helping. We help each other. Not everybody can do it alone, but I do. I pay the rent, the lights. Make sure he also has what he needs. If they need anything, it gets taken care of. Like if medical wise, if he needs to, if he's sick or anything, we'll take him in, get him a checkup. We've always let Melissa and them know what's wrong with him. It's immediate. If he needs it, it's definitely immediate. But yeah.
Well, I guess the last order was entered in August of 2021. So can you recall any health issues since August of 2021 that Jedediah has had when he was at your house?
Just basic, little sniffles, so maybe some coughs. Probably needed to wear a jacket, or maybe just take some medicine. That's about it. Nothing major.
Okay. And then as far as employment goes, are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how is this the same employer that you've had since the last order in August of 2021?
No.
All right. So how many jobs have you had since August of 2021?
Probably like 3.
And how long have you been with your most recent employer?
2.5 months.
And what is your current work schedule?
4 a.m. to whenever, to be honest.
What's the latest shift you've ever had to work with this outfit?
4:30.
Okay, so about a 12 and a half hour day.
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot or no?
It's up in the air, but right now, it's usually 10 to 12.
And how many hours a week are you getting?
50.
Prior to your current employer, what were you not employed for a period of time?
Yeah, I was looking for work.
And how long did it take you to, to find work? How long did it take you to find your current job?
Oof. It was about 3 weeks, going on 4 maybe.
And then when did you separate from your, not your current, but when did you separate from your prior employer?
Oh, I want to say June, somewhere middle June.
And what led to your separating from that job?
They let me go. They needed somebody that was more open.
How so?
I was over the road, truck driving, delivering products. So certain times I would have to be out. I couldn't flex. They had to let me go.
And with your current job, what days of the week is it?
Monday through Saturday.
Do you have any plans to leave this position, or do you think you're going to stay with it?
No, I love it.
Okay. All right. Factor B is the length of time the child has lived in a stable, satisfactory environment. Do you want to speak to the issues of stability and your environment?
Yeah, my environment is small. The house is big. It's 5-bedroom. The kids have their own room. There's 2 bathrooms. Let's see.
And then does Jedediah share a bedroom with one of his half siblings?
Yes. Yeah. They bunk bed.
Do you have any plans to move from that residence?
No.
And are you currently married?
I am not.
Do you want to respond to the allegations that you and your significant other argue or don't get along?
I think that everybody has conversations and relationships that kids might think are arguments. Nobody is physical. Nobody is yelling. We talk, maybe having disagreements, but nobody raises their voice. It's just a normal house, I guess. I mean, I don't know what normal is, but it's not abusive. It's not, kids aren't being yelled at. Like if they have something going on that's wrong, we talk to them and make sure that it doesn't happen again. I mean, the kids, if they have, like, we just do random stuff. I mean, we do random stuff sometimes. Kimberly will come over. She'll say we're going to the beach, and we went to the carnival a lot, Cherry Fest. We even went to the air show. And it's for them. It's what they, it's what kids want to do. We do kid stuff.
And are the other two children in your home, are they there all the time?
Well, when they're not in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And are those children that you share with your significant other, or are those her children?
One of them is hers. The other one is ours. Our daughter.
And the ages of those children?
2 and 6.
Your daughters too?
Yes.
And does she have primary physical custody of her 6-year-old?
Yes, she has full sole legal.
Factor F is moral fitness. Do you believe that you have moral fitness? Let me ask you this. Have you been arrested at all since August of 2021?
No, I haven't. I'm sorry. When you said, do you believe? I'm like, oh, okay.
Factor G is mental and physical health. Do you want to speak to your health?
I had 2 seizures in 2021, beginning of the year. They diagnosed me with epilepsy, but I feel fine. Haven't had any seizures since. I did my 6 months of no driving. Everything went great. My doctor says I'm doing great. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm doing good.
And when did you start driving again?
I think it was October
of last year?
No, 2021. Wait, it was in January, February, March, April. Yeah, September, maybe August, September.
Of 2021?
Yes.
How would you say your mental health is?
Good. I mean, I'm fine after my seizures. I'm good. Yeah, I feel great.
Factor H is home, school, and community record. So as far as Jedediah at your home, do you ever observe him having any difficulties as far as, going to bed at night, or any kind, do you observe any kind of anxiety from him at your home?
No, he just gets excited. He sleeps well. Everybody goes to bed normally. He just yeah, nothing out of normal. He doesn't get anxiety or anything.
And you
stuff.
Your court order currently provides for, during the school year, a 3-weekend on, 1 weekend off schedule. So last school year, did you follow that schedule?
Yes.
Have you gone to Jedediah's school since it started back up this year?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. When did you go?
I think I went right before school started to update everything and make sure everything was, I think on the 3rd. No, not the 3rd. 1 sec. No, the 4th. Yeah. I called them to let them know I was on my way to update anything that, there we go, needed to be updated, which they had everything. So I just want to make sure that the court order was the same. My number did change, so I went to friend of the court, updated my number, and then I went to the school.
Have you gone to the school other than that this year?
well, yeah, to pick up Jedediah, but
Okay, when did you do that?
last week, Friday.
Thank you.
Okay. And what happened when you got there?
Teacher, well, the office people said that he did not show up, and they sent me an email of his attendance record.
And that was last Friday?
Yes.
Okay. And you, when did you last see Jedediah?
July 11th.
Of what month?
July.
Okay. That would have been during summer vacation?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you see Jedediah on July 11th?
He was with me.
And how did Jedediah come to be in your care at that time?
I think it was picked up or dropped off, one of those.
And so, and then did you have him for the whole week based on your current court ordered schedule?
Was it the 7th? Oh, I think it was the 7th.
Of what month?
Of July.
Okay.
And
Okay, so July 7th was a Friday. So does that mean then that you had Jedediah Friday, July 7th until the following Friday?
yes.
Okay. So then, do you disagree with Ms. Jacobs's testimony that you did not have any of your summer week on, week off parenting time?
No, I didn't. The week before I left, I think that was the week I had Jedediah.
You just testified that you had Jedediah this summer between July 7th and July 11th. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the actual date, but is that the week?
Your Honor,
Yes, Ms. Jacobs?
he's thinking June 11th. That's what he has written on all his paperwork for the violations.
Is it June? I think it might be June. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the dates.
Do you want to take a 5-minute break to review that?
Yeah, I believe it was in June. I'm gonna pause real quick so I can actually get the if that's okay.
We'll go ahead. We'll take a 5-minute break. I'll put your devices in the waiting room and we'll come back in about 5. Mr. McFerrin, could you kind of clear it up?
Yeah, the 8th, Friday the 8th, June 8th.
Okay.
I had him until Sunday the 11th of June. That was the last time I had him.
And as far as as far as telephone calls that you made to try to speak with Jedediah, who did you make those telephone calls to?
At the time, Dakota.
Okay, and so all right. Did you consider going to school since it started just to see Jedediah, like maybe just to have lunch with him or anything like that?
No. No.
And you were at the school last Friday to pick Jedediah up?
Yes.
Your Honor,
The week before that.
Yes, Ms. Jacobs?
in his defense, he can't go to the school and just have lunch with them. The school doesn't allow that
Okay. All
for
right.
safety reasons. So that is in his defense.
Okay.
I will have his side on that one.
Did you have to take off work early to go to the school on Friday, Mr. McFerrin?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is that something that you'd be able to do on a regular basis? Because you're asking for the same order to remain in place. That's my confusion.
I know. My job is it's just difficult for them to find a replacement for me because my I'm the lead,
All right.
but I appreciate them when they do let me go.
All right. Last school year, when you would have Jedediah, did he ever make phone calls, or were there ever phone calls between him and Miss Jacobs on your weekends?
Yeah, I mean, he would want to call every once in a while, but not too often.
Does Jedediah have his own, or did he have his own phone last school year?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Domestic violence an issue in this case at this point?
No, sir.
Were you concerned about how Jedediah might react by your not picking him up for your first week this summer?
Not really. I was just wanting to see him. I mean, he's our son, so I don't see. There's no reason to be like. I don't think he would be scared to see me. It would more be like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, were you concerned that Jedediah would be sad or disappointed or somehow affected by your, not picking him up for your first week this summer?
Yeah, I definitely regret it. If I probably wouldn't. If I can go back and redo it, I would.
And I mean, the text message that you sent to Miss Breitup, I mean, it didn't say that I'm just going for a week, did it? I mean, it said I can't do it anymore. Why did you phrase it that way?
I didn't want to explain anything to her. I don't want her, I guess I was really kind of in a panic mode. It was just really hard being, just hearing that. So, a near-death situation for my mother was kind of hit me hard. So, I don't know. I didn't want. It just affected me. Maybe I shouldn't have let it affect me, but I did, and I regret it. Deeply regret it. I let my emotions get the best of me.
Were you considering actually not returning at that time?
No. I would never leave my kids. I have my daughter and my other son here, so they're all my kids. I wouldn't just up and leave them. I have responsibilities here. Can't just leave it all for Maya to do everything. We pay half and half bills and all that. So,
okay. All right. And are you asking for Jedediah to be removed from T-Bays and put in a YMCA soccer league at this time?
That would help.
How would that help?
I would be able to get them all to where they need to be, without having to stress and be separate from their games, so we can all be there, supporting him and every child, because we all attend, we all go as a family, every family member, Kimberly, the grandma, we all go to the soccer games. Melissa and Dakota, they're on the other side, but we're all there supporting. But it would just help because their schedule kind of balances out with my other kids' schedule.
And do you have any objection to Jedediah being in counseling at this time?
No. I was in counseling as a kid.
Anything else, Mr. McFerrin?
No, sir.
Ms. Jacobs, did you have any questions for Mr. McFerrin?
Yes, I do. And Your Honor, if any of these questions are out of line or they don't satisfy the court's way in any ways, please let me know.
Okay,
But before I begin, is Mr. McPherson still under oath for these
Yes.
questions?
yes,
Okay. All right. So you said you go to his soccer games and practices. When did you attend his last? And do you have any proof of your attendance, pictures, videos, anything?
Last time we went to a soccer game at the YMCA, April, or somewhere around there, maybe May. I have videos of the soccer game, but with me getting a new phone, that it's kind of hard for me to transfer over my pictures. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I can find somebody else to have pictures. I mean, I
But
drive.
you haven't attended any of the ones this year, this season.
I wasn't notified correctly.
Yes, but
Nobody asked.
I have the text message proof that you were. But
Okay.
we'll go on to the next.
Nobody asked me, so that's fine.
Okay. You have claimed you provide for him. Do you have any examples of things that you supply?
Yeah, everything here. The lights are turned on, rent is paid. Yes, clothes. There's a bunk bed. There's shoes, and there's food in the fridge. What else?
Okay. You said we don't communicate because of my unwillingness to do so. Could you tell the court what you said to me when I tried to deliver a court document to your house?
Yeah, if you're just gonna come to my house and deliver it, or have somebody put something in my mailbox, you might as well go to the post office and have it delivered by a mailman instead of opening my door without permission and just placing it in there saying that it was hand delivered to me. So yeah, of course, I'm going to deny that.
Well, you also have a legitimate sign on your door that says, please leave packages and everything inside your door. No, please let me finish. The certified mail, I did go to the post office and have it certified mailed to you. You were not answering the door for the person who was trying to certify you. You refused to open the door for them. And then you threatened to have me threatened to call the police for trespassing. Is what happened.
I would never open up your mailbox and put something in there. That's not.
It was your door.
Okay, well, if you
okay.
I send it through priority mail, pay $10, have it signed, I get the notification you got it.
We did that. I did that, and you would not sign the paper, Hassan. You would not answer the door. I got a notification saying you would not answer the door. So
okay, cool.
Okay, so moving on.
Okay.
You said missing out on school is important. I would agree, missing a whole day of school is important. It is determined to both invite to his birthday party hang on 1 second, sorry. You said that it was important to miss out on school. I would agree, missing out on a whole day of class is detriment to his education. Do you know what classes he would be missing on a Friday?
Yeah, he takes his classes, he goes to school. I mean,
what classes specifically would he be missing on a Friday?
Well, No. Basic classes like math. His art class.
No.
Okay, well, I mean, I know his I don't know what order class that he goes in. So, I mean,
Okay.
I know
Okay.
where his school is. I know who his teachers are.
Okay.
I have emails of when any event happens. I make sure I get to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you weren't allowed at the house after the incident with my brother happened. You were and Maya both were invited to his birthday party that following that incident later that year. And Maya did attend after invited with further incident or problems.
That's correct.
So why are you saying that you couldn't come here?
If there's an invite, that's great. But I'm not going to just show up on your doorstep trying to demand anything, because it only ends up in confrontation. There you go.
Okay. So you said he struggles in school. You said that he comes to you for struggles in school, right? Huh?
If he comes.
If he comes to you? So what struggles has he came to you about?
Don't worry about it. It's happened here. That's just part of what we do as for me and our child.
What classes specifically has he came to you struggling about?
He classes us at school. There you go. It's for me and our child.
What classes specifically has he came to you struggling about?
He classes us at school. There you go.
Okay. When was the last time you took him to the doctor's office for being ill and any sort of checkup?
Anytime that he's sick or needs a checkup, you would be notified.
What date? What month? What
He
year?
hasn't
Do you know a year? The last time
Well-
you were at the doctor's with him?
He hasn't had one with me while he's in my care. So there you go. You would be notified.
Okay. And speaking on moral fitness, when you left this most recent time to Arkansas, now saying that your mother was sick and that was your reasoning for going, why did you go to the bus station, take a bus? How did you get to the bus station?
I walked.
And you walked? Then why did Maya call us and tell us that her car was left at the bus station and she had to go get it?
You have video proof of that? If not, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't have video proof of anything.
I don't know. As he says,
I'm
she
just
says.
asking. So
I don't know. Next question.
the first time that last summer when you left was an emergency.
Next question. I don't know.
Mr.
Okay.
McFerrin, she's asking the question. Go ahead, Ms. Jacobs.
So the first time was an emergency, you leaving last summer and leaving Jedediah with Maya. This time around, you texted saying that you couldn't do it no longer. And you are also saying that you couldn't get through, couldn't get calls, you couldn't call. But I also have a text message here stating another response back after that first text message. My mother wrote, "Please take care of yourself because he does love you." And you wrote, "I will. I have to support him and my kids, and I can't do it here." And my mom said, "You are always welcome to call and talk to him." That was on 6/16, and you have never once called me or my mother.
Expenses to me sending my mom money for hospital bills, because either my dad can afford it, my brother, we all send them money. I don't have to tell you that I'm sending my mother money. If I'm struggling,
You sending money has nothing to do with it right now, son.
I'm telling you what's going on.
Okay, I don't want to know what's going on. I want to know about that.
Well, that's what's happening.
The question had to do with the testimony about, calling Ms. Jacobs to try to make contact with Jedediah this summer.
I mean, I contact Jedediah is if I would, the only time I contacted him was when he was kept for me, or if I have or if something is left, I don't contact Dakota as much because there's no reason to. I have everything I need here for him. If anything goes wrong or if pickup dates, I mean, I keep it simple as possible. It's just too much confrontation when it comes to anything else. So I try to keep it as minimal as possible and just make sure that he's happy. I mean, I call him if I need to. If anything is wrong, you guys call me. I mean, that's it.
Okay, one last question. When was the last time that you called and talked to him on the phone?
I don't know. It's been a while. Probably no month before I try it again. So, after you kept me from him, I don't know what you did. But turned your phone. I don't know. But
Our phones are not off. You're not blocked. Nothing.
Brand new phone. I mean, this should not be dropping. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go into it because it just makes no sense. So, you don't want me. You didn't want me to. You kept him from me. I don't. If I can
That's
go get.
not my intent at all.
Okay, we're not going to argue back and forth. This is just your chance to ask questions. Are you all done with the questions?
Yes,
Mr.
I
Duff?
am, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.